Well, no, it's a hat trick where they try to put something under the hats and keep messing with your mind. So they're like, okay, we're talking about guns, but are we talking about the Second Amendment, or are we talking about semi-automatic weapons, or are we talking about pistols in the hands of gangbangers, or are we talking about something completely not even related?
I mean, why do they want to take any of our guns? We're not criminals. We haven't done anything wrong. Why would they want to take the guns away from the peaceful people?
I mean,
Because they've taken them away from criminals, I guess. So now they're treating us like criminals.
it's a basic fundamental of society that people tend to forget, and that we, the citizens, are the watchmen. And the problem with the current system is that the current system wants to become the watchman. They want a total monopoly of power over security. See, in order for them to achieve that power monopoly of security over us, they have to disarm us, make weapons illegal.
But
So
there's
what
many
ends
people
up
that don't
happening?
think that's gonna happen.
So here's what ends up happening. Well, a lot of people don't think that that's going to happen. I, for one, don't believe that it's going to happen because I have full faith in the American people, and that we're going to fight for what we believe in and actually, prevent them from taking our guns. I mean, we're taking the time right now to actually get off our asses and discuss this issue.
Well, what kind of
And hopefully, well, in other words, we're actually doing something.
Yeah.
We're making a video. So people out there are going to criticize that, but you know what? Good. At least they're talking about the subject. At least they're discussing it. See, it's when they stop discussing it and there is no criticism that, they can't shoot themselves in the foot. So when you have people like Piers Morgan that come out here and try to criticize the gun movement and say that guns should be illegal when they know nothing about a gun and have never even used one, and come from a country where guns are illegal for that fact, I mean, come on. The guy doesn't know crap about our nation. Well, maybe he does, and maybe he does want to take it over. There's some guy talking about how in Soviet Russia, prior to the revolution, Lenin, Stalin, and all the other commies that took over, Trotskyites and all them, said that they were the revolutionaries, and even when they were in power, it was still a revolution. They called it the Eternal Revolution. So years of them already being in power and committing mass genocide and basically destroying lives of people who want to live on their own and create their own destiny, they, were the quote-unquote revolutionaries. So these revolutionaries that are in power right now are trying to overthrow the old system that we came from and turn it into this totalitarian state where it's complete opposite of the Constitution, whereas the Constitution, yeah, it's just a piece of paper, but it's a piece of paper that points out birthrights, things that are, given to us by birth. Just for being born, you have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That's not something that a government could grant you. It's only something that a government could take away. So we hold these rights to be inalienable, insoluble, and firm. You can't dissolve that. You can't dissolve the fact that it's my human right to defend myself.
That's right.
You can't say, hey, if someone's attacking me, I have to do this and die.
No, but they'll just give you some little tiny knife and say, okay.
Regardless, okay, so someone's attacking me with the gun. It's an uneven playing field. So now I have a knife to defend myself.
That's not an
You
even
just
playing field.
the government openly denied my rights to defend myself. See, and everyone says,
And why would they want to do that? Why would they? Why would they want to take away?
Because
your
of populace.
rights? Why do they care?
Why do they care? Okay, we could learn a lot. Okay, there's a lot of negative history in the United States, and there's a lot of positive history in the United States, and people always outweigh the negative and just ignore the positive. So here's the thing: we could learn from the negative. Look, there was a lot of negativity that happened in the past. The first races to be to be disarmed, so they could be suppressed, were the Native Americans. Whenever the Native American tribes are conquered, the government would do everything they could to remove their firearms and make them resort back to tomahawks and spears and sticks, so that they would have that monopoly of control, monopoly of power, monopoly of security, so they could be easily managed. And everyone nowadays, because we're so domesticated, they're just like, oh my God, you must be crazy. You're talking about a tyrannical government. That will never happen in America. We're so safe and secure here. We don't need guns. It's the exact opposite. I mean, we're living in a nation where we've seen our rights consistently withered away and destroyed. People don't even believe in privacy or even think they have it anymore. So they've already gotten rid of that. Once they get rid of that, then they can track, trace, do whatever they want to us, mess with you. The next step that they want is total control, which is disarmament of the public. So if a government gets out of hand and decides, hey, you know, we want to force relocate you, remove you from your property, that's no longer freedom. And those are the things that happens when a government disarms its people. What did they do to the Native Americans after they disarmed them? They moved them from their property. What did they do to the blacks when they tried to disarm them? They moved them from their property under, what do you call that? I can't remember the exact name. Eminent domain. Where, oh, the state said that we need to get these blacks off this land so we could build a highway here. Come on, wake up, America. The first other, you know, again, like I said, they try to disarm the minorities to control them. We learned as a Christian nation and as a nation of people who had morals, not trying to get all on religious tip here, but we learned that, hey, look, everyone should have equal rights and they should have the right to defend themselves. And we learned that the Constitution tells us that all men are created equal. And that is another truth that it cannot be removed. And when I say man, I'm talking about mankind. I'm not just talking about a man. Because you have all these people that say, oh, he's referring to a man. No, I'm referring to mankind. When I say man, I'm referring to mankind.
Which is
so if
man,
you want to
women, and reptilians.
Yeah, whatever, yeah. Planet Pop-Tart, you're included. Whatever, those people, you know what I'm saying? But basically what I'm getting at is that the Second Amendment, the First Amendment, the Third Amendment, Fourth, Fifth, Sixth, Seventh, Eighth, Ninth, and Tenth, the first 10 amendments, the Bill of Rights and the Constitution is there to point out something. To point out your unalienable rights, your rights that are given to you by birth rights that can never be removed by any government law. And if they do, it's your duty as an American and as a human being to say, hey, look, I'm not going to abide by your tyrannical law which denies me of my birthrights. Our birthrights are sacred. Those are given to you by birth. Whether they're from God, the universe, the earth, whatever you want to call it. It's not from a government, I guarantee you that. But it's from something more powerful than a government. The metaphysical, you could call it. Whatever. You have the right to defend yourself. A crab has a claw to defend itself. Yeah, nature gave it that. But we as humans didn't have that ability. We had the ability to think and outsmart each other and outwit each other. We got to the point where we created advanced weaponry that they're all double-edged swords. All weapons are double-edged swords. Everything is a double-edged sword because you can use it for good and you can use it for bad. I mean, hey, I killed an attacking coyote or a wolf. That was using it for good. Or in another situation, we see people use it for bad. They use the knife to kill somebody and do an evil thing and steal their money or whatever.
Yeah.
There's different examples that you can use. But the bottom line is, it's a tool.